Good afternoon, students. This is our on-screen B2 group. And in this course today, we are going to practice using past tenses. And today is the 15th of July, 2021. So we are going to try to do 3 lessons in a row. So we'll have completed the English course by 9 o'clock tonight. Okay, so look at exercise number 9 in your workbook, vocabulary, topic-related vocabulary, and let's complete the gaps. Crystal, can you start, please?
I don't know when I will be getting back from Bristol, so I'd better get a single ticket.
Bravo. And next one.
Since you are coming back on the same day, you might as well buy
A return ticket. Well, so everybody, do your best. Try to listen to your pronunciation. Yeah, I really want you to focus on your sounds. Okay, Teodora.
Our flight was delayed by 4 hours. The school trip was
Cancelled
because there weren't enough students interested
in participating. Yeah, actually it happened. Participate is to take part in, участвам. Participation, участие. It happened to my excursion. We were planning to go to Dubnica tomorrow with our students, but there weren't enough students for the trip, so we needed to cancel it until next week. It wasn't the right timing. Well, rather, let's do number 3.
Vienna is so popular at this time of year that there wasn't a single
Vacant
room in any hotel. We couldn't get seats on the early flight to Madrid because it was fully booked.
Yes, that's right. By the way, take pencils to write in your books, yeah? Or maybe if you want to sell them later, you can write on a different paper, not inside, but I recommend you writing down and it's because that's the easiest ways to memorize the information. Plus, at the back of the book, there are a lot of activities, grammar banks. We have also vocabulary description. It's a wonderful book to start to boost up your English. So that wasn't difficult. Delayed is to be late. It was late by 4 hours, and cancelled is when you put off something from happening because something was wrong with it. Great. Okay. Oh, there is one more. There are 2 more to go on. What about Irena? Try now.
My friends and I went on a day journey to the beach last Saturday. It's a 9-hour trip from Birmingham to Inverness by car.
Now look at the definition below. A trip is usually a one-day trip. You see, a short visit to a place, to the beach. Кратко пътуване. A journey in Bulgarian language we say пътешествие. It's a longer one. So this is the reason why you should say I went on a day trip to the beach and it's a 9-hour journey, a longer one, going from one place to another over a long distance is always a journey. Okay? That's the main difference. A trip is like командировка. A short trip or a school trip as well we can have. And Ivana?
The hotel is located close to a central railway station. The flight for Singapore leaves from
Terminal, the building at the airport where passengers check in and wait for their flights. Terminal, it's in Bulgarian as well. Okay, so that's easy. It's not difficult to explain. Good. And finally, let's check your skills for word formation. That's the next one. Yes. So when you get home, you will register your books online And then this, what you can see now, will be online for you. You can start writing, typing, listening to the activities. You can work on it in the same way. And look at these question marks. You have them when you work this activity at home, okay? And you once you register this book, it will be possible to use it from free computers. It does it from your phone, from your laptop, and another device, electronic device. So, and just to explain, you should follow the steps to register your book. Okay, first you need to visit expressdigibooks.com. Then you should sign up, make your own account. Yes, then they'll send you a link to your email. You click on that, log into to my ebook section, and then you see a green circle. Click on that and add this code number. You have the software, so you don't need this. Okay. Now we arrive at the resort at the Irena. What would you say? What part
We
of the
arrive at the resort at the highness, maybe,
maybe at the height?
at the heights.
Frasgarana at
Uh-huh.
height of the season. You can write it down as an expression to at the moment we are at the height of the holiday season, so many people are visiting the Black Sea coast, as you are going to do it. And I talked to a friend of mine last night. They went to Kipper, Cyprus. That was 2 weeks ago, and she said that the weather there was so boiling hot that the sun was scorching their skin. They couldn't even stay on the beach in Cyprus. So be careful where you go in the summer holidays, because if the sun is too hot, you cannot enjoy the holiday season. Yeah. Mhm. So, Crystal, what about you?
The new car model goes into production this month.
Production, yeah, I would say the same. Production, that's the word here. Well, there are many, many other words we can refer to. Yeah. The next one is for Theodora. Just take turns.
Yeah, we have a choice either to stay at the hotel or at the hostel.
We had a choice. Yeah, this is the noun. Here you see.
A wide range of souvenirs or things.
Sale, on sale. You remember the expression to be on sale. It's another word for, yeah, that's a noun coming from sale, sale. And finally, Ivana.
The log cabin was truly delightful.
I would say delightful place, pleasant to stay. Last weekend, the log cabin. And this is каютата. No, log означава и дънер. Вероятно дървената Cabina, it's somewhere in the forest, was a truly delightful place to stay last weekend. Okay, well done. So you will do the other activities if you haven't done this yet for homework. Yeah, if you haven't been able to do it. And do you want to do the reading comprehension part as well? We haven't. Have you done it? Have you been working in your reading part? Page 28, 29. Let's continue because Christina hasn't joined us yet. So we can go to the workbook, Unit 3. This is a story about Antarctica. Okay, so let's practice vocabulary and reading comprehension skills at the same time. Missing sentences. You can see some of these sentences have been taken from the article, and you should guess what is missing. Okay, so read this. What is how to prepare for the task? Read the sentences and pay attention to the underlined words. Match the sentences to the sentences which follow on A to D. How have the underlined words help you decide? Okay. So, Christo, can you read this sentence, the first one?
Big industry is continuing to create pollution and greenhouse
Gases.
gases.
Okay. Could you now, after reading this one, which one will follow this sentence? A, B, C, or D? So, кое според вас ви следва най-логически? Говориме за greenhouse D, нали? Ето, вижте ли как има винаги логика в това, което правим. Тоест, they have been taken from the text, but they are linked to the next sentence they go with. Yeah? Okay, Teodora, how about the second?
Have our guide.
Tour guide.
Tour guide to show us around the castle. He will tell about. He will tell us about the history
Yeah.
of the film.
That's logical. Yes, please.
The views from the top of the tower are spectacular.
Spectacular. Spectacular. Blaze to do a spectacular. Yes. You can see.
You
Yeah.
can see from miles around on the
Yes.
day.
And finally, yeah, Ivana.
The animals have to build up a store of food before the weather turns cold.
Остана последното.
Otherwise, they may not have enough to eat during winter.
That's right. So how have the underlined words helped you decide? How? They give you the main meaning. Yeah, that's how they help you. Pollution, Fred, tour guide, he, how? Yeah, because they're related to the sentences that are following them. Okay, well done. And now you are going to read the article about Antarctica. 6 sentences have been removed. Choose from the sentences A to G, the one which fits each gap. There is one extra sentence which you do not need to use. Okay, so before we start reading the text, we should read the sentences here. Okay. Irena, can you read one, please? A.
This spot is considered the best in the world for observing the emperor penguin in its natural habitat.
Correct. Bill penguin. Okay. This spot. Which are the keywords here? I will be underlining them by. Yeah, this spot is considered the best during the observing the
Emperor penguin.
natural habitat. So if they talk about that, then it will refer to this sentence. Това е пингвина, императорския пингвин. Imperatorския penguin, this is the name of the species, the emperor penguin. This type of penguin lives on the Antarctic. Okay, well, Christo?
Everywhere I turned, all I could see was
Ice and snow. Maybe the keywords. Everywhere I turned. Okay. The next one.
There were the Antarctic ship,
Kalila, the second. Тоест, следващото изречение ще става дума за този кораб, нали? They will be talking about the Antarctic cruise ship in the text. And next?
But despite all its drawbacks, Arctic cruise is certainly worth it.
Worth it. A cruise is certainly worth it. Въпреки недостатъците, арктическо пътешествие наистина си заслужава. Ивана?
It makes you wonder why anyone would want to come here.
It makes you wonder why anyone would want to come here. Maybe why you want to come here. And Irena?
The ship itself was very comfortable.
Comfortable. The ship was comfortable. And Christo?
I couldn't believe that people could work in such harsh conditions months on end.
That's the last words. I couldn't believe that they could work in such harsh conditions. Okay, now let's start reading. And then after we finish the sentence, the paragraph, we'll be thinking which is the proper word to use. Okay, let's start the reading. Okay, Ivana, could you read the first sentence?
Most
first.
of us look for warm temperatures when choosing holiday destination, whether to sunbathe on a beach or sightsee around the city. It might come as a surprise to you then to learn that one of the fastest growing holiday destinations in the world has temperatures that constantly stay below freezing, even in the summer. Antarctica, the fifth largest continent in the world, received over 40,000 visitors in 2011, a jump of 10,000 from the year before. But why are so many people choosing to pack woolly hats instead of bathing suits?
Bathing suits?
For their holidays, we sent Jim Crisp, our South American correspondent, to find out.
Correspondent to find out. Continuing.
I like to consider myself a professional tourist. After all, writing travel articles is what I do for a living. But before I was offered this assignment, I didn't even know that it was possible to visit Antarctica as a tourist. From Buenos Aires, Argentina, where I temporarily live, I took a short flight to
Ushuaia, the southernmost
city in the world.
Do you know the word southernmost? Най-южната точка на света е това. Значи, когато добавите след посоките northern, добавите думата most, става най-отдалечената на север точка. Къде? Let's say along the Black Sea coast. Най-отдалечената южна точка в света. Най-близко до, да. Сега, я да помислим, кое ли ще бъде липсващото изречение тук, като виж, след него следва since the airports in Antarctica are not for commercial use, tourists wishing to visit the continent must travel by cruise ship. Yes, from Buenos Aires, where temporarily I took a short flight to Sama. Така, погледнете сега липсващите изречения отгоре. Кой според вас?
I think it's C.
There. Yes. Do you agree with her? What do you think? I think this is C. Само, че тук не ми дава опция да добавям. Добре. Тук ни дава опция само да... Не, ето го. So this is 1C. Excellent answer. Well done. This is the right sentence. Okay, Crystal, can you continue?
Since the airports in Antarctica are not for commercial use.
Commercial use. Commerciale. Commercial. Винаги окончанието CL е shall. Commercial use. Yeah.
Tourists wishing to visit the continent must travel by cruise ship.
Cruise ship.
They only operate during the Antarctic summer from November to March, when the ice sheet covering the continent is slightly less thick and therefore safer for ships to travel through. I decided on a 3-day trip in early December at a cost of 7,000.
Now look at the sentences and look at the next. Due to the cold temperature, strong winds and risk of high waves, passengers are only permitted to spend a limited amount of time on deck. So what do you think is missing there? I decided on a 3-day trip in early December. Аз си мисля, че е друго. Няма да е D. Няма да е G.
F.
You think it's F?
I don't know. Maybe.
Decided on a 3-day trip. Аз си мисля, че е друго.
I
No.
don't believe that people got floating.
Я да видим следващото. Я да видим, за да бъде за ship, където казахме, the ship is was very comfortable. Тук става ли дума за... Не става дума за самия кораб, нали? Я да видим някъде другаде да говорим за кораба. Да. Yes, може би е D, според мен, нали? Точно, според мен най-добре, but despite all its drawbacks, an Arctic cruise is certainly worth it. Нали? Я да видим как трябва сега трябва да се върна назад. This is D. It's not D. Добре, връщаме се.
То има и едно излишно, нали така?
Да, аз си мислих, че а сега ще ви кажа кое мислих, че на мен много ми пасна A. This spot is considered, аз си мисля, че е това. Я да видя. It's not A. Я да видим защо. Така. I decided on a 3-day trip in early December at a cost of £7,000. Due to the cold and strong winds and risk of weather, passengers are not able to spend a limited amount of time on deck. Ship there are a variety of spots perfect for viewing. Ми може би пък ние пробвахме ли с кораба? Кой казахме? F не съм пробвала с това е значи. Правилно, да. Ето го, the ship itself was very comfortable. Ми да, защото после говорят, че не е разрешено да излизате на палубата. You are not allowed. You are allowed to spend a limited amount of time on deck, but within the ship there are variety of spots perfect for viewing. Yeah, okay. Super. Well, Radar, could you continue reading the paragraph, please? From D, yes, here. So, somewhere on deck, but...
On deck, but within the ship there are a variety of spots perfect for viewing the Antarctic landscape.
The Antarctic landscape. Само да обясня за произношението на the. Когато след него следва гласен звук, не казваме the Antarctic, казваме the Antarctic landscape. The, когато следващия звук е съгласен. А когато е гласна, става the Antarctic landscape. Yes.
The
Scenery
was simply
inspiring.
Say that it was like a winter wonderland would be an
understatement. Добре, продължавай сега. Continue. Most cruises
offer passengers the opportunity to get on the ship and onto land.
Oh, yeah, okay, continue.
In our case, by traveling on a small motorboat to the shore, our first stop was at the Palmer station.
Okay, let's stop here now and think. Let's think. Most cruises offer passengers the opportunity to get on the ship onto land. To say that it was like a winter wonderland would be an understatement. Неразбиране. Which sentence? To say it was like a winter wonderland. Well, значи като зимна приказка, зимна би. To get off the ship and to land. Ми да пробваме с B. Bravo. That's correct. Everywhere I turned, all I could see was ice and snow. Bravo. Who's next? Ivana. So do shore somewhere.
This research station was named after Nathaniel
Palmer,
usually recognized as the first American to see Antarctica. There, we were given a tour of the facility and told about some of the medical and environmental research that goes on there. Hurrying back to the warmth of my cabin, I felt a great deal of respect for the scientists we left behind.
Now, what is missing in between? Because the hurrying back to warm, so G. Yeah, I am thinking of G as well. Let's check. G. Bravo. Yes, that's it. I couldn't believe that people could work in such harsh conditions months on end. Okay. And now, Irena, continue reading paragraph F.
The next day was the highlight for me, and I soon learned the main reason why most passengers were on board. Early in the morning, the ship made another landing close to the Downson Lambton Glacier. As our motorboat reached the shore, we could see thousands of these fascinating creatures waddling around happily. And most surprisingly of all, they didn't leave. As our guide told us, by having never been hunted or attacked by humans, they don't see us as a threat. That gave me the opportunity to take some wonderful photographs. Mhm. I think it's A. This spot is considered the best in the world for observing the emperor penguin in its natural habitat.
This is correct because they are saying the reason why they went to this place.
Yes.
Please don't continue.
A day later, the ship was back in
Ushuaia.
Ushuaia, and we were all relieved to step onto dry land again. But what about my overall impressions of the trip? For one, it is
Tracy.
pricey, and that doesn't include the multiple flights it
Mhm.
would take European visitors to get to Yoshino. Also, the extreme weather conditions do require a high level of physical fitness, so it's not a trip I would advise for the young or elderly. For nature lovers, especially, it can be a trip of a lifetime.
Bravo. It's all right. So what is the missing word? It's not a trip, not advice for the young or elderly. Yes, I think so. Do you agree with him? It must be D. Despite all its drawbacks, an Arctic cruise is certainly worth it. Bravo. Excellent work. You have this activity in your Cambridge Certificate of English exam. Sentences have been taken from the text and you should decide which one goes where. And this is how you make up a decision. I would say sometimes for this exams, Cambridge, the sentences are very, very difficult to guess. So I think this is one of the hardest tasks at the exam. Read, it can be very, very confusing. This one wasn't difficult. Okay, just to take a picture of this activity and move on with the vocabulary from this text. Find words in the text with a similar meaning to the following word to practice continually. Maybe I'll just give it to you immediately so we don't waste time for searching the vocabulary. And I'll take a shot from my book and let's go through the vocabulary constantly. Reporter, correspondent, a task to complete as part of your job, assignment. Do you know the word assignment? Nu mas naram. Carry out work. Carry out is a very important phrasal verb. You carry out experiments, you carry out work, proveste-me organiziram, carry out, operate, concerned with making profit, commercial. Restricted, breathtaking, or inspiring, or que vou mexer or. Do you know the word or? Awesome. Awesome is страхотен. О е нещо, което буди във вас почитание. Or inspiring. Нещо, което ви вдъхва с възхищение към предметите. Difficult to live in. Трудно да живеем. Harsh conditions. Chance. The most exciting part of an event, the highlight of the event is it, walking with short, quick steps while swinging slightly from side to side. That's waddling. Това е движението на пингвинчето, нали? Waddle. With short, quick while swinging slightly from side. На български, I don't know how to say. Върви като пингвин, maybe. Waddle, waddle. Disadvantages is drawbacks and glad because something unpleasant is no longer happening. Relieved. You feel relieved. Okay, that's done. And finally, let's check the other words. Find words in a text which mean the opposite of the following words. Inexpensive. Do you remember the word for inexpensive? Scoop. What? But they used another word in the text. It was in the last paragraph. It was pricey. Do you remember? I just remember the word pricey. Pricey от цена, като добавите накрая Y, думата е в текста. Накрая, последния параграф беше. Pricey, yes. I just remember the word. A pricey trip means inexpensive, pricey, but find words in text which mean the opposite of the words. The opposite of inexpensive is pricey, not скъп. Pricey means very expensive, very. You cannot afford to buy it. Pricey. Exaggeration е преувеличаване. Значи тук ще бъде the opposite to this one. I don't know. I'll just check the word. Understatement. Като недоизказване. Understatement. Yeah, it's given here as a definition. Listen.
Understatement.
The act of saying that something is less good than it is. Като недоразбиране, недоизказване. Да кажем нещо, което е по-зле, отколкото действителност е. Недоизказване, недоразбиране. Yeah. And waddle.
Waddle around. Waddle around.
Like a penguin. When it's slippery and icy, you waddle on the snow. So you walk as like penguin, so you don't fall off the slide, the slippery.
Awe-inspiring. Awe-inspiring.
Awe-inspiring, breathtaking. These are the new words for you in the text. And okay, permanently, постоянно, the opposite would be
Temporary.
Temporarily. Amateur. What's the opposite of amateur? Amateur. Professional, something professional. And thick.
Thick.
The bell. Yeah, that's, I don't know what they talked about here. Yeah, they talked about the ice sheet covering the continent is slightly less thick and therefore safer for ships to travel through. Well done. And finally, let's continue with exercise 5. Could you complete the gaps with one of these words? So we got a message from Christina. Her daughter is ill today, so she won't take part in the lesson now. So you'll be working together. Christo, could you start with the first sentence, please?
We set off early so that we could reach our
Destination. Добре. Destination. Good. The next one, Teodoro.
Government built station.
Built a research what?
short course.
Quite short. Short е бряг на езеро или на море, или на океан. Beach е плаж, нали? So the government built a research what facility? Yeah. Yes. Това е оборудване, equipment, facility, като equipment, a research, but it can be Facility is something that helps people, facilitates, улеснява хората в правенето на действие. Facility can be, Chris will just join us, she will only listening to the lesson. She won't be able to take part, just be. Okay, a research facility is like, it could be a library, it could be a place, a laboratory, where they will be working together to study climate change. Hello, Chrissy. Just I want you to be part of the lesson and listen to our work. We've been reading in our workbook so far. Okay. So let's continue. Tudor. Tudor was now, so it's your turn, brother.
Scientists who work in advanced research stations deserve our respect.
Respect. Yes. Next one, Ivana.
There is a conditional
Continual.
continual of snowstorms.
Impression of впечатление. So maybe a continual threat. Заплаха. Threat. Заплаха от снежни бури in Antarctica. And Christina, not Christina, I'm talking Irena.
As soon as we arrived at the party, we got the impression that we weren't welcome.
And finally, Crystal.
When the boat started sinking, they jumped in the water, swam to the shore.
Yes, to the shore. As I said, a shore, a brigade. This is this is the bank. We're talking about the river banks, but the bank of a sea, of the ocean, is called the shore. Shore, the lake shore, the sea shore, and the ocean shore, but the river banks. Okay, that's it. Well done. And the last activity in your workbook is to do with the summary of the text about the imperial penguin. Well, if Tudor, could you start reading?
I'll start according to the same destination.
Yes. Destination for your holiday every year.
For the year, then why not try something new and take an Antarctic cruise with penguin travel on freezing.
On which of these words? Our luxury ships you get not border, on board.
What our
Luxury ships.
You will get the opportunity to
Experience the amazing
nature.
Може би scenery, пейзаж. Scenery е като релеф, пейзаж. Scenery, а като nature, природа. Нали? Тук като пейзажи, but rather continue.
Scenery that is
Largely.
untouched continent has to offer. And Antarctic cruises are perfect for nature
Lovers. Ivana?
Чакай много ще бързо.
That's okay.
For instance, you can get up close with emperor penguins in their natural habitat.
On the Lambton Glacier.
You need to wrap up. Temperatures are usually below freezing. But an Antarctic cruise is sure to be a trip of lifetime.
Excellent. Well done. We finished this activity. Okay. And now when Chris is in the classroom, we can now move on to the grammar lesson today. It's very, very important that everybody's in the class because we're going to summarize the use of all past tenses. Okay, so now Yeah, it's 7:20. Yeah, we'll continuing until 8 o'clock. Then we'll have a short break and we'll continue for 50 more minutes. We'll see how we are going. Okay, let's open our student's book and do the grammar lesson today. Okay, here it is. Page 42. Open your student's book on page 42. Okay. We're going to listen and read this letter. I really like the topic. We are going to be in the Bahamas right now. So, listen and read.
Hi, Jess. Guess what? I'm in the Bahamas. My boss told me I could take a holiday, as I have been working so hard, and he was pleased with my results. I checked online and decided to book a 10-day holiday at this 5-star hotel. When I arrived at the hotel, I walked up to the check-in desk and informed the receptionist that I had made a reservation under the name of Dumas. Imagine my surprise when I heard her tell the porter to take my bags up to the €5,000 a night penthouse suite. When I got to my room, I tipped the porter, quickly unpacked my bag, and went out onto the balcony to see the view. It was a glorious day. The sun was shining and the sea sparkled below me. As I was admiring the view, the phone rang. It was the hotel receptionist. Nervously, she told me there had been a mix-up and that I had to pack my bags and leave the room at once. You won't believe what had happened. Apparently, I wasn't the only Dumas who had booked for that day. My namesake is a famous writer, and the receptionist had mistaken me for him. Anyway, my new room is nice, and I'm having a great time. I'll tell you all about it when I get back. See you soon, Alex.
So, did you understand the text? I hope so. Let's check the next activity. Now, can you identify the tenses? Yeah, and the tenses in bold, then match them to the uses given in exercise 1. Checking the grammar preference. Is this the right way? So the first one is not this one. Where I'm going now? Maybe here. Yes. Okay. The first tense is I'd been working. Which tense is this? I had been working. Past perfect continuous. Yeah, because you have had been as the first part, past perfect plus continuous form. Yeah, to Laura checked which tense. Past simple, yes. Anna?
Had made.
Yes. Rada tipped. Past simple. Irena?
Was shining past continuous?
Both. Past
Yes,
continuous form of the verb. Okay, let's now check, match the meanings. So we have to check in. Yes, we have to put them together today. Uses. I'm getting confused here. Yeah, okay. Now, the first one, action which happened at a certain time in the past. There is direct, indirect reference to the time. Which of these is it? Past simple, past perfect, which past continuous? Something that happened at a certain time in the past. I think this is which tense? Past simple, past simple. I did it at this time. I did it. Ah. There is a direct, indirect reference to the time. Тогава ще бъде past continuous. Ама той happened. That wasn't in progress. Чакайте, тук има две past simple. Извинявайте, пак си е past simple, но не, четвъртото трябва да бъде второто, защото при четвърти номер they are activities that follow one another. And there are different uses of the past simple. So that's past simple, but it's number 2. Yes, it's the same. Okay. The second one, Tudora.
Actions which happen one after the other in the past.
Ah, yeah, that's the one. Yeah.
Mm,
Happening
past
one
simple.
after the other. That's past simple, the same usage.
Oh,
Yes, that's why we got confused because it's the same past
Yeah.
simple. Rather,
Action which had been in progress before another action in the past.
mhm,
Um,
had been in progress.
I had been working.
Yes, I had been working. Yes, I think that's what we're gonna say. Yeah, that's the only usage here. Say, I had been working all day long before I went home. Yes, Ivana.
action which gives background information.
Mhm. We use this tense to describe the nature. The sun was shining, the birds were singing, the wind was blowing. So when you describe the background, we are using the past continuous form of the verb have. Okay, Irena.
Action which was in progress in the past and another action interrupted.
Mhm.
6
Six.
was admiring.
Yes. And the next one.
Happened before another action in the past.
Action which happened before another action in the past. Past perfect. Минало предварително време в български език. I had done it. So, how are you feeling these tenses? Have you studied this at school before?
Yeah.
So you're familiar with that. But we'll be practicing all of them now. So if you have any difficulties, we'll find. Okay, so that's it. Actually, if we're talking about keywords, ключови думи, to identify the tenses, yeah, let's check this grammar sheet. Past simple versus past continuous form. So past simple is used for actions which happen at a specific time, isn't it? For example,
The weather was very good, so they went sailing last weekend.
okay, but in contrast, past continuous is focusing on an activity which is in progress. It's not finished at this time of speaking. Look, they went sailing, отидоха, and the time can be stated, implied, or already known. But here, we don't know when the action started or finished.
Ben was sleeping on the deck of the boat yesterday afternoon.
The focus is on the continuation of this activity. Past simple versus past continuous. Yeah, in narrations, when something happens one after the other,
Penny bought a scarf and then showed it to her husband.
yeah, when then you use the past simple form of the verb. But if there are two actions in progress, when another was interrupted, we're using the past continuous.
Yesterday, while Jenny and Bill were cycling, Jenny's phone rang.
That's it. And the next one, past simple is used for past habits. Look at the example.
They sat under the beach umbrella and relaxed every day during their holiday last summer.
Okay, but past continuous is used for two or more actions which were happening at the same time in the past. Listen.
Some holiday makers were swimming in the sea, while others were sunbathing on the beach.
While, докато, that's the key word for using the past continuous. Past continuous is used for actions which give background information, set the scene of a story. Listen.
It was a perfect day for windsurfing as the sun was shining and a strong wind was blowing.
The description of the scene is always past continuous. Past perfect. Минало предварително време. Бях приключил. Бях реализирал някакъв резултат преди друго действие в миналото.
After they had seen the sights of the city, they sat down to write some postcards.
Yes. And finally, past perfect is used for an action which finished in the past and whose result was visible at a later point in the past.
She was excited because she had managed to reach the top.
беше постигнала, беше достигнала. And past perfect continuous is used to put emphasis on the duration of an activity which started and finished in the past before another action or stated time in the past, usually with for or since. It's like present perfect continuous, but the reference point is the past, not now. So listen to the examples.
They had been skiing for 3 hours before they stopped to have a rest. They had been skiing since 9 a.m. before they stopped to have a rest.
And last one, past perfect continuous is used for an action which lasted for some time in the past and whose result was visible in the past. Listen.
Yesterday at the airport, he had been waiting to check in for hours and was tired of standing.
Okay, good. And that's it. And now it's time for practicing these tenses. Okay, so I don't think we should identify the forms of the tenses. This is easy. Let's do exercise number 2. Crystal, can you start, please?
How was your holiday in Spain?
Yes.
Past.
Да, довърши го до края.
Great, thanks.
I
had a
Yes.
fantastic time.
I had a fantastic time. Dora.
What were you doing when the phone rang?
Bravo. What were you doing when the phone rang? Excellent.
I was washing my hair and I didn't hear it.
Bravo. I was washing my hair and I didn't hear it. I'm waiting for you. Yes. Ivana.
Tony
Сърфираше когато откри
was surfing
the net
when he found a great deal.
When he found a great deal on a trip to Paris. Irena.
I know, but by the time he told me about it, I had already booked my holiday to Berlin.
Bravo. Already is the key word for the perfect tense, but in the past. So it's the same like present perfect, but in the past. Well, Crystal. Как изпуснато са полета си? Yeah. How did you miss your flight?
We were shopping in the duty-free shop and we didn't hear the
announcement. Съобщението. Announce when you declare something to the speakers. Announcement, съобщението. Well, yes. Teodora, number 5.
Did you stay in a hotel during your holiday?
Да, точно така е.
No, we went.
Rented an apartment. It's saying what you did. We rented an apartment for 2 weeks.
Jane looked
Exhausted.
When I saw her, that's because she was working long hours for the.
Не, помисля още мъничко. Когато акцент е на продължителността, she had been working. Пак е перфектно продължително, но глагола had е в past tense. She had been. Когато акцент е на продължителността, колко дълго съм чакала, съм учила, винаги е перфектно продължително време. Това е най-лесното време. I had been working long hours for the last 3 weeks. Ключовата думичка тук е в продължение на 3 часа. Така, добре, ами вие ги знаете. Знаете ги, браво, ние с групата сме ги работили тези неща с сегашните времена. Също сега, което знаем за present simple, отива в past simple, но ключовите думи ще бъдат yesterday, last week, 5 minutes ago, нали? Няма да е every day, ще бъде last summer. Бъдеще, сегашно продължително, I'm studying English now, в миналото ще бъде you were studying, she was studying, и няма да е now, ще бъде at 2 o'clock, at this time yesterday, we were studying. Те са еднакви, но всъщност сега вече ние пътуваме във времето. Поглеждаме на тези събития от гледна точка на минал момент, а не към настоящия момент. И по същия начин и за бъдещето. Ако кажем, аз ще уча английски по това време следващия вторник, I will be studying. Тоест глаголът to be ще бъде в бъдеще време. I will be studying at this time next Tuesday. Yeah? Да, и перфектното време е винаги резултативно време. Какво съм постигнала към съответния момент? Ако е към миналото, до вчера, предлога е с by yesterday. Да, перфектното време изисква предлогът by. By yesterday той вече беше резервирал полета на самолета, нали? He had already booked the flight by yesterday. You cannot cancel the flight now. It had already been booked. Обаче, ако кажем до утре, ще съм посетила, да кажем, ще съм написала доклада. Как ще бъде тогава, Христо? Ще съм написал доклада. I will have finished the report by tomorrow. Вижте ли колко са еднакви? Единственото нещо, което се променя е глагола have. В минало, сегашно и в бъдеще време спомагателният глагол се запазва have плюс the past participle of the main verb. На български се превежда с глагола съм. Аз съм направила, аз бях направил, ще съм бил направил. И ключовата дума е предлогът by. До определен момент в миналото, настоящето или бъдещето. С това, когато имате подобни упражнения, трябва да си визуализирате, да се телепортираме в тази ситуация, so you can decide which is the correct form of the verb. Да, супер, чудесно. So let's check the next activity. Това е яко упражнение. Because now you are given the key words. Can everybody make one sentence of these words? Let's try. Irena, can you make a sentence with 2 weeks ago?
I had a great time 2 weeks ago when I visited my parents.
Visited my parents.
Visited my parents.
Simple tense of the verb, yes. Okay, Krista, while. Make a word, a sentence
I'm
with
learning while my friends are resting.
word. I was learning to use past tenses. Okay, I'm learning while my parents are resting, but we should use past tenses. Докато аз се учих, моите родители почиваха. While I was studying, they were resting. Okay, last year. What did you do last year, Teddy?
I went on a trip.
On a boat ride. I went on a boat ride last year. Where?
Greece.
In Greece.
Yeah.
Great. Okay. The next.
I've never eaten sushi before.
I had never. Let's say until last summer, I hadn't eaten sushi before. Трябва да бъде до кога? До определен момент в миналото. Yes, but now you have. What have you been doing?
I slept all day yesterday.
Да, обаче кой глагол ще бъде? Когато е цял ден. I had been sleeping. Ето тук това е важно. Когато акцент е на продължителността, цял ден, Аз пиша, уча, работя. It's past perfect. Look at the example.
I had been working in the garden all day yesterday.
Тук ключовата думичка ще бъде all day, all morning, all afternoon. Или for how long? I had been doing something. Last summer, Irena, where did you go last summer?
Last summer, I went to sunny beach with my boyfriend.
Right. Okay. Crystal? Already.
I'm already.
I had.
That's not.
Past perfect. Вече бях направил действието преди нещо друго. I had already. Приготвил вечеря, например, преди да изляза навън, преди да пусна филма. Made the dinner for my family before they came home after work. I had already. It's a result before another past event. Teddy, yet.
I haven't done this yet.
She или I hadn't done, няма да е сега. Това е сегашно перфектно, са ни го дали. Добре. Yes, okay.
I was training for hours like yesterday.
Още веднъж ще го коригирай. Been training for 3 hours. Тоест, for hours on end. Когато акцент е продължителността, въпреки че се го дали с past simple, вие си запомнете, защото тук е по часове наред. I had been training for hours yesterday. For 10 years. Тук може и past simple. Да, по-скоро да. 10 години живяхте, кажем, къде си. I lived in Paris for 10 years. Тук са ни вкарали и сегашно перфектно време, ама нали сме на past tenses. Добре, няма значение. So I lived in Paris for 10 years. And by the time, Irena, by the time докато той пристигне, филмът беше започнал.
By the time he came, the film was already started.
The film had already started. Минало перфект, нали? Сега тук са използвали present simple. Okay. By the time I got to the theater, the play had already
started.
На български беше започнал, но на английски had started. Yeah? Чудесно. Мисля, че още мъничко практика ви трябва. Искате ли да направим един кахут? Играли ли сте? Чели сте? Много. Искам сега ще ви обясня какво ще направим. Това е много хубава начин да се забавляваме и да учим едновременно и да ще видите колко е състезателна играта. Трябва ви телефон. You just need a telephone for this game. Ще трябва да затворя... Само да видя как ще стигна до монитора. Защо? Може би от тук ще стигна до монитора. Да. Не мога да стигна до монитора, обаче. Може би тук. Да не успея. Не, ще трябва да излезна от софтуера на учителя. Вече няма да стане. Така, добре. Сега ще ви покажа, момичета. Така. Сега, аз ще влезна, всеки един от вас може да си направи регистрация, после безплатна, в kahoot.com. Да. Чакайте. Да. И след това, като имате регистрация, ще може да си създавате сами предизвикателства, такива learning challenges. Аз сега направо ще се логна в моят акаунт. Тя е безплатна с моят Gmail. Просто си използвайте Gmail-а за да влизате директно, без да се включвате всеки път. И след като влезнете в тази платформа, once you get inside onto this, you go to discover button, discover. You have this one, you just use continue for free. You're not going to pay anything. I'm now sharing the screen. Yes. И тук, където е бутона Discover, ще си направим бутона за търсене на съответния тест. We are going to use now past tenses. Ама това ще бъде, ще го сложим на по-високо ниво. Past tenses и нека да бъде revision. Enter. И сега ще излезат хиляди квизи, които ние ще използваме. Past simple, past continuous, ама аз искам всички. Revision. Кое да избера, за да ви тествам. Надявам се. Ето тук. First Certificate of English Past Tenses Revision. Може би това ще бъде подходящо за групата. Да. Сега, след това натискаме бутона Play. Едната опция за тестване. Ирена, имаш ли и телефон и компютър пред себе си?
Да, имам и двете.
Спокойно. Така, значи сега ще виждаме въпросите на монитора тук, а телефона ще бъде вашия джойстик, на който ще имате 4 опции за да изберете верния отговор. Once you choose the correct answer, yes, you will be given some points. Classical mode. И така, so now you'll find what is it about. Now everybody, you should go to www.kahoot.it on your phone. And then it will ask for your PIN number. Не кома е за регистрация, а тук за да влезете в тази игра, трябва да напишете www.kahoot.it. Kahoot.it. Така, готови сме, всички сте вътре. Не, кой не? Не. It's you, Ивана. Сега, въпросите ще излизате тук отгоре на монитора. Вие ще имате време да ги прочетете. Съответното време 20 секунди до 30 секунди. Quiz number 1. After leaving England, Drake, и сега кой 30 секунди, was finding, found, had been finding a way to reach the Pacific. И който е първи отговори, ще получи повече точки от втория, третия, четвъртия. So be fast. Четири отговори имаме. Само 3 отговора. Да, наистина това е отговора. Ами след като напусна Англия, той намери начин, то няма кой друго време да е. Това е резултат. He found a way to reach the specific. Let's check the answer. Вижте ли защо е интересно да играем тази игра? Проверяваме знанията едновременно на всички. Rada and Irena made it wrong, but come on, there are 20 questions. So you have your choice. Drake had never gone around the world before 1580, has gone, went, was going. Кое ще бъде? Там като е before, трябва да бъде кое време? Before се използва винаги с... Не подсказвам. 8 seconds left. Бързо. 6 seconds. Had never gone around the world before. 1580. So is it your first time playing Kahoot?
Yeah.
I'm just surprised. Most teachers should use Kahoot. Amanda, the piano, one Amanda. Тук става дума за two. Не. Was playing. Браво. When her mother arrived. Браво. Нищо. Няма проблем. Rana is going up. Teddy, she's the fastest finger. Bravo, Teddy. So, let's go. Трябва обаче да се обзалагаме, so you have an option. My cousin and I at a park bench when they... Седяха, когато чуха гръм. Yeah, while they were sitting, when they heard heard a thunder. Кой се объркал, сега ще видим. Да, нищо. You should think faster. Добре. Question 5. Имате last week at 5 o'clock Susan to London on holidays. Тя пътуваше до Лондон. 5 часа пътуваше. She was traveling. That's how I see it. Yes. Браво. Не бързай тогава толкова много, просто изчакай си достатъчно време. Oh, Ivana, you are the first in the first place. Okay. Имах много готин. My alarm clock yesterday morning at 9. Не звънна и закъснях за работа. Be careful. Не звънна. Точно това е, разбира се, it didn't ring. Просто не звънна. So I was late for work. Обаче има пак един неверен отговор. Този път е Теди. Нищо. Супер. Нищо рада. Има шанс да ви догони. Before the Smiths, their new house, they, преди да си купят новата къща, бяха търсили новата къща в продължение на цяла година. Да, нищо. Знам, okay, I will look up. No water. Точно това е верен отговор. Ама аз точно за това подсказах. Продължителността е they had been looking for a nice house for a year. Я да видим, даваме шанс на Ирена да ви победи. Рени е стара пушка, да знаете. She has been doing the best, yes, very well with Kahoot. You at the meeting yesterday? I didn't see you there. Беше ли? Беше ли на срещата вчера? Много лесно. Come on, do it. Fast finger. Were you at the meeting yesterday? Някой пак се обърка нещо. Добре. Ирена, ти ли се обърка?
Не, правилно ми е.
Правилно беше, обаче Ивана беше много бърза този път и получи повече точки за скорост. 15 points more than you. Trista's in the third place. Rada moved up a little bit. Okay. Имате 11 въпроса. Еднакво време да победите. Before, my brother what this job last year, he преди да си намери работа, той завърши от университет. Две да. Чакайте. Преди да си напусне. Да, правилно е, две последователни действия. Давайте, бързо. Чакайте, те са дали had graduated. Аз мисля, че сега много често... Тук е lucky finger. Тук можеше и past simple да бъде. Окей. Може би интернетът ви е по-бавен. Old word one. Да. Which one? Първата световна война беше вече приключила, когато е започнала следващата война. Вече е била приключила. Когато е започнала.
Изтече времето, това ушила ти.
Не, ето сега изтече. Да, това е вярното. Разбира се, че е вярното. Верен отговор, нали? Кой отговори вярно? Я да видя сега.
Аз.
Няма, Ирена.
На мен ми изтече времето.
She's hard worker. Very hard worker.
Да, то си върти.
Виждате ли това, че те са имали с мен практика, как има значение? 4 years ago. Кое време ще бъде? Не го мислете бързо. Ago е past simple.
Не.
No. 4 years ago. Ама нали ago? Ago е past simple. Ключовите думички.
Падам.
Сега ще видим. Нещо бавен ти интернета. Така ли, Теди? Добре, я да видим. Ирена и Христо се бият за първото място. Ивана и тя може да ги допълни. Рада и Теди се бият за третото място. My mother. Имате думичката yet. Все още не е напазарувала.
Върти, не речи некога.
Нищо, то когато всички сте готови, ще го приеме за завършен отговор. Да. Hasn't done the shopping yet. Всички нали знаеме? Yet е сегашно перфектно време на глагола. Тук май всички са отговорили правилно. Добре. 13. It was the first time Marian беше първият път. Това е кое време? С първи път, втори път, 10-ти път. Винаги е перфектно време. Но сега е в миналото. Перфектно в миналото. Значи, казах много. След it is the first time I have driven a car. Да, минало перфектно време. Същото както сегашно перфектно, но тук е was. Значи отива едно време назад в миналото. Past perfect. Сега вижте ли как тази игра ми показва... браво! Как ми показва доколко добре може да прилагате знанието в практиката. Нали? 30 seconds. Tom, Michael for 2 weeks when he in the car opposite the house. Том не го беше виждал 2 седмици, когато той го видя в парка. Мисля тук или синьото, или зеленото. Може би синьото. Синьото, да. Синьото е защото е в миналото. Не го беше виждал 2 седмици, когато го видя в къщата. Няма как да hasn't seen and saw. Добре.
Въпросът е, защото ми зарежда да ми излезе.
Нищо ти гледаш горе въпросите. By the time, предлогът by, he, докато е бил на 12, Моцарт, да, докато стане на 12, вече е бил създал симфония. By the time he... Okay. Да, was 12. Значи това е подчиненото изречение до 12 годишна възраст. Той вече беше създал симфония. Had composed symphony. Кои двама сте отговорили правилно? Рада, Ирена и Ивана. 3 души. Браво. 16 out of 20. When I... Когато пристигнах с нощи, намерих, че някой беше вече излезнал.
Само така. Отбързам.
Разбрах, че всички бяха тръгнали, бяха излезнали. Усети къде е грешката, нали? Когато пристигнах вкъщи, разбрах, че всички бяха излезнали. Точно така е. Усети се, нали, че това past perfect. Нищо, Ивана, так му се доближиха до тебе. Имат шансове да още си на първото място. Бързината, да. Обаче от бързината, виж колко много точки си събрала от бързината.
Аз бързо не хай добър.
Джорджина бе живяла в Франция в продължение на цяла година, когато за първи път посети... Не. Да, беше живяла вече цяла година, когато за първи път посети Париж. Точно така, да. Вече беше живяла. Ама тук чакайте малко. Тук е has, да. Тук е had. Тук това ви е подвело. Той е вярно, ама тук е has, трябваше да бъде had. Нищо, я да видим как се справяме. Остана си на първо място все още. Христо се доближи до първото място обаче. Да, и на Радо бяха дадени допълнително бонус точки. Why? Защо мене? Because. Защо не ме чуваш? Аз слушах MP3 player. Защо не ме чу? Защото слушах. Четвърта. Точно това е вече. Имаш проблем, аз трябваше ти дам моя телефон. Why didn't you hear? Да, при теб има проблем с зареждането на въпроса. Супер, да, обаче вижте много добре. Да видим 19 въпрос. So far this year, my father тази година е пътувал 2 пъти. До сега. Бързо, бързо. Quickly. Бе е пътувал 2 пъти до сега. Тази година. Present кое? Present perfect. Точно това е верният отговор. Защото и тази година не е изтекла. Ще бъде сегашно перфектно време на глагола. Ирена ви води. Ирена не се дава. Tom's parents. Последен въпрос. Да.
Не, защото съм
10 секунди ви остават. Точно това е. Значи, since he left home, нали? Така ще бъде. Няма да видим сега. Сега да видим класирането. In the first place is Ivana. 13. 12th place. In the second place is Christo. And in the first place, 14 is Irena. Браво, браво. А вие двечките сте, съответно, Rada is in the fourth place. And 5 is Teddy. Чудесно. Я да видим skip animation. Да, добре. Виждате ли колко забавно и интересно? Така, сега имате право на 10-минутна пауза и продължаваме. Да, нека сега. Искате ли 10 минутки да починем и продължаваме? Аз ще спра записа за момента. Stop the